Hey everyone, I wanted to get on here today to talk about a common misconception that people have about being a spiritual being in this 3D experience. Most people think that if you're a spiritual being out here, that all day, every day, you have to be peace, love, positivity, and, basically just see the brighter side of things all the time. You're not supposed to have any down times where you feel sad or you get angry because, the common idea that everybody has now is that if you're a spiritual being, then nothing bad should happen to you. You should never get angry. You should never get upset. There's never going to be times where your emotions flare up and where you start thinking about things in ways that, are not the most loving. But when you're out here in this 3D experience, when you're experiencing everything that's going on, there's going to be those times where, you're going to have those feelings. They're going to come up and they might lash out. You might end up talking about somebody, your family, your friends, whoever it is, co-workers. But you have to understand that just because these things happen, don't make you any less of a spiritual being. Don't make you any less of who you actually are. These are just things that you have to work through on your own or, with somebody else. But it is something that you need to work through in your inner dialogue, in your inner world, in your inner work, in order to figure out exactly where these emotions are coming from. And that is the key of it all. It's not that you are, saying, taking away, all these bad experiences and being like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and just be this loving person all the time. Everything's all love, peace, positivity, and light. You have to understand that you have those other aspects of yourself and you need to integrate that, with your daily practices. Understand that it's going to happen. Do you hear me? It's going to happen. There's going to be times where you're not the most loving person. There's going to be times where you lash out at your loved ones. There's going to be times where, bad things are happening because that's just what happens. It's life. It's all with this journey. Everything we go through is going to be a not a struggle, but an experience that is needed. So don't take it as, oh, obviously I'm not, living my purpose because things are just going bad for me. I'm having these flare-ups and all this. Take this time to really look within and see where these things are coming from and how you're going to grow from this situation. How are you going to learn from this situation? How are you going to make this situation become, the basis of, making yourself a better person, a better being, say a better spiritual being out here on your journey. Because that's what this is. It's just a journey. And like any journey, any traveling, there's going to be some hiccups along the way. There's going to be some pit stops, rest stops. And there's going to be times where you have to rest, relax, recharge yourself, in order to keep going. Because this is an ever-flowing journey. And it's going to be going on, until you're on the next stage of the journey. You get that? The next stage of the journey. It's never going to end. You're always going to be going on a different journey. But in this 3D experience that we have here, there are going to be things that upset you. There are going to be things that flare up your emotions. There are going to be things that are making you not feel like you are the spiritual being that you are. But just remember that you are. You are that spiritual being. And regardless of what happens through this experience, understand that you can learn and grow from each of these experiences that you have. Don't let it be the thing that stops you, because that's what happens to a lot of people out here is they hit a hiccup in the road and they're like, oh man, well, now that I've done this, obviously all the work that I put in before this goes out the window. That's not the case. That's never the case. All that is another stepping stone on this journey, another stepping stone across this river we call life. So take the time to really think about, saying what actions you are taking, what thoughts you're doing, and how you are perceiving these actions and thoughts. How are you taking these actions and thoughts to bring yourself to the next level? How are you going to take those actions and thoughts and make yourself a better being while you're in this 3D experience? Because there's a lot of things out here that are going to try to get you basically off the path. And this is not a conspiracy theory where I'm saying everybody is out to get you or anything like that. Nobody's out to get you. That is yourself doubting who you are. that doubt and that fear stopping you from becoming who you truly are, and not even becoming who you truly are, remembering who you truly are and stepping into that power, stepping into that authority of yourself, and knowing that you are making the decisions to make yourself better, to making the decisions to grow, making the decisions to learn from all your actions and interactions that you have out here in this 3D experience. So don't give up. Don't let this be the thing that stops you on your journey. Keep it going and learn from it, because it's a beautiful thing. Even if you have a traumatic experience, it's still a beautiful thing, because in that traumatic experience, you now have learned something. And whatever the lesson is, I'm not exactly sure what that lesson is for you, but you will learn what that lesson was meant to do for you. You will learn how you are going to experience the rest of this 3D journey, and remember, that's just one experience. Depending on how long you've lived, you've had all kinds of experiences. Even a baby, when they're born, is still having a whole bunch of experiences in this journey, in this 3D world. So just think about it. You've gotten as far as you've come today, going through your worst times, going through your best times, and you're still here. You're still here in this present moment. In this present moment, you're not living in the past. You're not living in the future. You're always in this present moment. But you can look on the past and see what lessons have been given to you. Did you learn from it? Did you grow from it? And if you didn't, it's okay. There's no reason to beat yourself up about not learning from these different lessons and these different experiences. Just take the time to look at it and be like, okay, now in this present moment, but now we can go forward and see where we're going from here. And I say we because, people like to say that you're in this alone. It's an individual journey. There's nothing that exists outside of yourself. And while, there are aspects of that is true. I say we because it's you and your higher self, your physical and non-physical. All the different aspects of yourself that are tied into this, account for a different part of this journey, account for a different part of your experience. So when I say we, I'm not saying like, everybody on the planet. I'm saying as you in your individual journey. I know this might be confusing because I said not individual before, but you in your individual journey have your higher self, your spirit guides, and different things that are there to help you. So when I say we, when you think of we and I am, you also have to include in your higher self, because your higher self is a part of you as well. So just take some time and think about that, and take some notes on yourself. I'm not saying to write it down. I'm saying take some notes in here. See where you're going. Take that time to truly see and truly feel and truly embody that spiritual being that you are and that you can learn from. But I think that's about all I wanted to say today. And, my fullest love to everybody out there. And take some time on your journey just to relax and to think about different things. And you never know what might happen.